Good evening, all. Richa here.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Good
morning.
evening, everybody.
Good morning and good evening.
So, how was your weekend?
Was good. How about you? How is your husband doing now, Richa ji?
He is much better. He's much better.
Oh, good.
Today, Revati and Santoshi is not going to attend our class. They said they'll be unable to attend that. Rupanjali has some medical emergency, so she'll also not be able to attend. So now, how many rest to attend? Leena ji is there, Sheetal is there, Swati is there, and Rudra will join, and who else? Usha
And Pavani?
and Pavni. 3 people, right? So we'll wait for a few minutes.
Sure. I have a little bit of doubt. Nothing, I mean, but because I was also going through a couple of other videos and little confused because I thought, I mean, let me put it in another way. There is also something that is training that Devji had put the video for Agile and Scrum Master. So I don't know. I mean, I feel very comfortable and I understand the concept and the logic very well for the Scrum. So do you think that would be better for me to do instead of BA, QA and Scrum?
Leena ji, if you feel that Scrum is comfortable for you and you like to do the management kind of thing, and if you wish to go towards that profession, then definitely you can go for Scrum Master. See, I also have chosen Scrum Master for the same sake. I was the tester person. I was
Okay.
I was into software testing.
Okay.
Then I decided that no, it is not going to work for me because I cannot go for automation testing and these kind of thing. So I decided to go into the management field.
Okay.
I decided to opt for Scrum Master, and
Okay.
then now I'm into pure management.
Because you know what, I'm really good at managing. I've worked like at the managerial level and at the deputy general manager level and also at the VP level for management and thing at the when I was with Air France and a couple of other things. So I'm really good at it. Plus logically, I mean, this is making more sense. But my question is like a job market, which has more opportunities and if you have to evolve, what is a better profession, BA, QA, and Scrum Master, or Agile and Scrum Master?
Uh, Scrum Master also have the same kind of
Scope.
openings available in the market. So you can go for Scrum Master as well. What say, Ravindraji? You have more idea about this?
It depends on how do see ourselves, right?
She's
And
comfortable into it.
frankly, yeah, Leena ji, whatever you done as in business, you know the business, right? As far as overall,
Right.
domain of travel and all those things on. So if
Right.
you, by any chance, want to go to this area, but you need to understand certain IT terminology. That's what I believe, right?
Okay.
You can get started as a what you can say scrum master or into project management directly, but what I would really would like or try to understand, like IT is a bit cryptic word. Means let's start somewhere as an BA, because that's what we've done, right? As an we put our heart and soul into it. Scrum Master, it's a bit I'll not say smaller skill set, it's a niche skill set. And unless you know the terminology, unless you know the templatization process in IT, because IT are that way bit cruel domain, because it's a highly matured, highly process oriented. So being stepping in a shoe of something like who is be it a tester or be it a QA, be it a Scrum Master, they are kind of controllers of these worlds, if I may say that, if I go to that extreme. So I would like to as a person, I would like to start as an BA as a first stepping stone, because
Okay.
then you'll understand the domain, you'll understand the terminology. Because traveling domain, helping customer, the business in and out, how the profit margins are churned out, how we plan, how we budget. So the 80% of it, the 20%
Right.
of it is bit cryptic. Means IT world, we try to keep others away. Means if you've seen two IT guys talking to each other, they use mostly their word, their partygram. So same with doctors, same with lawyers. So these are certain professions who normally you need to penetrate into it first, and then start exploring. That's what I feel, and it's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Because as a senior person, us getting hurt by such what you can say grouping is a bit bigger chance, right?
Okay.
So please don't take me otherwise.
No, no,
These are the
that is why I just even texted Dave about it, because he's always there giving me the right, choice and explaining me, because, certain things behind the scene, we don't know how it goes. And, what, as you said, it is a bit cruel. So yeah, you're right, I guess, one step at a
And
time.
and
right.
Leenaji, what will happen while you are acting as a Scrum Master? You need to be involved into technical things of software development,
Yes,
Okay.
like
that's as well. That's true.
how
Very.
how the requirements are getting developed, whether whether the developers or anyone from the team are not overestimating, or it's like they are not making fool of anyone else, in terms of like, I'm working on it, and he's not working at all.
Yeah.
So
Right.
how would you get to know this? Once you know about the software development cycle, or you know the technology, like it's, you understand it. It's not like you have to do it,
With
but
the
you
working
understand the
knowledge. Yeah.
terminology and how it works. So then it will be easier to you to manage.
Okay. Got it.
What I
Yeah.
would really
Makes
suggest
sense.
is spend at least 3 to 6 months, if not less than that, and
Oh,
then
okay.
you'll get a hang of overall domain, and then you can you'll get a breathing space as well to prepare for something like Scrum or Agile certification. So then, if you want to go there with certification, you can perfectly go with full arms and animation.
Ah, got it. Yeah.
So that's how I feel it. What
Yeah.
we have
Making
here,
sense. Making sense.
right?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks.
Pavni is sharing her screen. Hi, Pavni.
Is it German or something? Only ma'am, you're going to take German class today. You know German? That's the German,
I
right? Ficky Telmer. I don't know. Oh, that's kind of movie, I believe. Okay, no problem. Sorry.
I guess Pavni is confused,
No,
or
no,
like she is not finding the option.
Looks like, yeah.
no problem. You can stop share. Means,
Yeah,
otherwise, yeah, ma'am, you can do it, Richa ma'am.
yep. Okay, so still,
So, Lina ma'am, does that
Yeah.
answer your question?
Yes, yes, perfectly. I mean, it
Again,
was very
it's just a
simple and perfect.
yeah, it's just a suggestion from me. Please, and
No,
I
no,
think
no,
Devji
no.
is
I
more capable than
appreciate. I
me to.
really appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, Devji are more capable because they are on the ground, right?
Right,
Because
right.
the US culture matters the most, and US culture is the most flexible around the globe. Believe me, means
Oh,
I've seen
really?
quite a few. So, adopting in US culture is really easy in the corporate world. But if you come to something like India, we are, quite a, bit restrictive, and we have all the other, what you can say, social challenges add to the whole scenario. So, in
Yeah,
India,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Got
we
it.
so that way.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with our session today.
Yeah.
Okay, only Usha is left to attend. Let's see, she'll join late. Okay, so any doubt on anything till now?
No, I guess we'll be fine. Perfectly all right.
Everyone is fine with our things, with
Yes.
Scrum and Agile.
Yes.
Okay, so because today we are going to start with the Scrum rules.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so which all roles are available in Scrum?
Yeah.
Only
Uh,
three roles? Yeah, tell me.
Product owner, Scrum Master, and development team.
Yes, and okay, so here I have mentioned which is owned by whom.
Yeah.
Like product owner owns the product vision,
Mm-hmm.
leads release planning, defines features, prioritize features by economic value, and decides on release dates and content, responsible for business success, and makes trade-off for decisions, and accepts or rejects the work. I'll explain you this in detail. Okay, yeah. So, what is product vision? Product vision is something by which you motivate your team and as well as which defines your product in a very few words. Okay, that is product vision. I'll explain it in later slides. Leads release planning. Release planning is something like release planning or not. Have you heard this term before?
No, but it's making little sense. Like when to release what part of the whole
Yes,
program. Yeah.
yes. The product owner only decides when to have the build from the development team, when to have the like final build on his environment on which date. Okay,
Mm.
and how much, which all requirements should be completed and should get delivered with these timelines. Okay,
Mm.
defines feature. You already know that product owner only defines the requirements, prioritizes the features by economic value, like he does the prioritization as per the business value. Okay,
Mm.
decides on release date and content. I have already mentioned it. Responsible for business success, like whatever requirement he has given, he is only the person who is responsible by to have the business out of those requirements. Okay, makes trade-off decisions. He only decides which requirements need to get dropped off or need to picked up as an addition. Accepts or rejects the work. Like I already explained you that during our sprint review, we as in dev team demonstrate the requirements as in working condition to product owner, and he decides or whether the requirements are met to his requirements, his expectation or not. Okay, if it is like it's he's not he's not accepting that, he can reject your work also. Like during the review meeting, he may say that I'm not these requirements are not looking good to me, or they are not uh, making any kind of business value, so we can drop it off. Okay. So he only decides whether he wants to accept your sprint work or not.
Okay.
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 So what does a Scrum Master do? Scrum Master, like I've told you, that anything and everything related to product is owned by product owner. The similar way, anything and everything related to Scrum is owned by Scrum Master. Like he know the Scrum framework in a better way. He acts as a change agent and work for Scrum team.
Mm.
Coaches dev team and product owner about the Scrum. Ensures Scrum adherence in the team. Minimizes work in progress. Removes blocks and dependencies for the team. Ensures change and continuous improvement in the work. Minimizes disruption and enables collaboration between the Scrum team. Now, when I say Scrum team, it includes all the three roles. Okay,
Mm.
so he knows the Scrum framework in a better way. Like in if we compare it with this product owner and the development team, so he knows it the better way, and he acts as a change agent and work for the Scrum team. Like in actual, we as in a Scrum Master do the management also, but it is not the part of Scrum Master's role. Whenever if you are pursuing for Scrum Master, then and during your interview, first question would be like how you are going to manage your team. So that time you need to answer it like we are not managing our team, we are leading our team. We are the leaders of our team. We are not the managers of our team.
Mm.
Okay. But in reality, we do management also. Okay.
Mm.
So he only coaches the dev team and the product owner about the Scrum, like Scrum values and Scrum things,
Mm.
and ensures that the Scrum team is following the Scrum norms. They are within the Scrum framework. They are not working outside of Scrum framework. Okay. Minimizes work in progress. When you work in Scrum, you have picked up few requirements for the current sprint. Then, when somebody is working on it, they'll change the status of those requirements to in progress. Okay, so he ensures that everybody is working on one or two things only, not more than that.
Mm.
Okay, like it's not like that we have picked up around 20 requirements for the current sprint, and we have 9 people in our team, and everybody has um, made, like we have 9 people in the team, and we have picked up around 30 requirements. So we make sure that it's not like that all the 9 people have started working on all the 30 requirements. It would be maximum to 18. Like somebody has started on something, and due to some blockers, they have switched to the another requirement. So that is okay. So that is okay, but we ensures that uh, realistic number of requirements are in work in are of the status of in progress. Okay. He removes the blockers and dependencies for the development team. He ensures the change and continuous improvement. When we do the retrospective ceremony, during that we try to analyze our last sprint, like our experiences, and accordingly we plan for the next sprint. So he ensures that whatever has been decided, we are working accordingly, and we are continuously improving in our in terms of the software development. Okay, we are improving the quality of the software, and also we are working towards our goal. Okay, minimizes the disruption, like he ensures that our team is not disrupted by anyone else, like somebody comes up, some senior manager comes up and asks to borrow some developer from your team. So Scrum Master may directly say like, no, he is not available, and I am not going to share my resource with you because we have delivery in next 5 days or 4 days, whatever it is. He decided whether his resource can be shared by other teams or not. Okay. He enables the collaboration between the Scrum team. He enables the collaboration within the development team and with the product owner and with the development team. Okay. What is owned by development team? Whatever is related to sprint is owned by development team. Execution and delivery makes detailed plan, story points, sprint planning, sprint backlog, daily scrum focused on steady delivery of high quality features, manages own work within a sprint, and generates option for product owner. Like they are the development team is responsible for the execution and delivery, like what all requirements are there to execute, or in other words to build the requirement is owned by the development team. They decide, they only decide for their plan how they are going to develop the software, the requirements. They only decides the story points, a new terminology for you all. Like story points are like we estimate the requirements in terms of hours, and again we convert them into the story points, or vice versa. Like we give the like what to say, a standard benchmark for the hours, like 1 point is equals to 6 hours of work. Okay, are you getting this? Like
No.
I'm going, no, okay. Each requirements are going to get the estimations to get completed within that time, right? You know this. Now let's say that requirement is going to be as per our estimations, it will take around 20 hours to get completed. Okay, and in our team we have decided that one story point is equals to the 5 hours work. So how many story points are going to uh, uh, like depict these hours? The requirements are, we have 20 hours for that requirement, and our benchmark is like one story point is equals to 5 hours. So that user story or that requirement is now of 4 story points. Are you getting it?
Oh, what is story
No.
points? Can you repeat and explain what is story points?
Like we provide some benchmark for the estimations. Okay. Like denotation of something, like some relative estimations we are doing by story points. How do I explain you with this? Okay.
Can you give some real time example, like real life example of story points?
Okay. It's like story points is like a benchmark for your team which you have decided. Like one story points is equals to 5 hours. Just try to understand this. Okay. I'll give you some example on this. Okay. And then when you are going to analyze the requirement, at that time we roughly estimate that user story, like ये वाला story बहुत big है, it will take much time to get completed. Okay, as per the as per its complexity and its like the other challenges which we have experienced in like as per our experiences we get to know that this requirement will take more time. ठीक है, तो हम उसको एक रफ एस्टिमेशन देते हैं, अरे ये तो बहुत बड़ा रिक्वायरमेंट है, इट विल टेक अराउंड 40 to 50 आवर्स, ऐसा हम एस्टिमेशन देते हैं. तो estimations are like somewhere we do it in a story points and somewhere we directly give it like in hours. ठीक है, and then we convert it into story points or into different techniques of the estimations. We have different techniques of estimations. Okay, so ऐसा हमने दिया है तो 40-50 hours दिया है तो we say like it will take around 10 story, it's having around 10 story points. Okay, you're not getting anything, right? Okay, so anything like in real world. Okay. Uh, does anyone do knitting or something? Knitting or embroidery?
I know knitting. Yeah.
Okay. So Leena ji, if I ask you that give you some, I'll show you some picture of some beautiful cardigan.
Okay.
And I'll ask you that, Leena ji, you tell me how much time will you take to complete this? Can you
Okay.
make this? First thing, can you make this? So first, what will you do? You'll first see the picture of that cardigan and you'll try to analyze things like how you can make it,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then my second question would be like, how much time will you take to complete this? So
Yes.
you will tell in the days, not in the hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will take around 7 days time or 5 days time, whatever is comfortable for you. You'll not tell in the hours, like I'll take around 50 hours to complete this, right?
Right. Right. Right.
You'll tell in the days. So
Yes.
those days are the story points in SDLC in our Scrum.
So it's like delivering time, right? I mean, normal. delivering time, right? Or finishing the
Yes, it's like estimation for that work. You're estimating
estimation of
your
the
work.
execution of the work. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
You're okay. So you have said that I'll take around 7 days time to complete this cardigan. So
Hmm.
7 story points are there. Now you have estimated like in your for your own that I can spend only 2 hours or 3 hours a day. So that's why it will take around 7 days for you to complete it.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
So that 2 or 3 hours, whichever is there, is like one day is equals to 2 or 3 hours. The
Okay.
similar way, one story point is equals to 5 to 6 hours or whatever is being decided amongst your team.
Okay.
So that is the relationship between story points and the hours. Okay, so when we do the estimation on requirements, we do it in a rough way. We
Okay.
cannot be very much sure about the work hours time, like how many hours it will take.
So the
So
story
we
point
roughly.
is like just an
Hmm,
estimation, but it's like instead of hourly estimation, you give in a story point estimation.
right.
Okay, got it.
There are other estimation technologies also.
Okay.
Like we also give it like the story points are always there, but we also use some t-shirt sizing and planning poker. So many things are there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that is not your like if you are working as a BA, so that is not a responsibility of
Okay.
yours.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
okay, and sprint planning. Sprint planning means when we have the ceremony sprint planning. During that, the after that sprint plan, whatever has been picked up for the current sprint, now onwards, it's the development team's responsibility to execute it and to plan how they are going to work on those things. And they also say during the sprint planning meeting that if the product owner is forcing them to pick up more stories, more user stories, then they can deny for it. Like, as per our capacity, we are full, will not be able to deliver these many user stories. Okay, we can deny for the work also. Sprint backlog, like we have picked up these user stories for the sprint backlog. So now it's team's responsibility to maintain it. Like they only need to change the status of the user stories on timely basis. It's not like that the developer has finished his work on story A and he has moved on to the story B, but he has not changed the status of a story A. So that user story is still uh, in progress status and he has started working on to story B. Okay, he has to first change the status of user story A as completed. Then only he can move on to the next user story. Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Ravindraji, for sharing that link on the group.
Yeah, story points. Yeah, I believe I discussed in a couple of minutes. Basically, it's an estimation way, right? I think हम लोग कभी तो discuss कर रहे थे तब हमने किया था, but it was really short, and I couldn't provide you video on that, so I've just shared that thing. Sorry, ma'am, I'm just overstepping what you're trying to say, but yeah, story point is basically what we do. Major functionality we try to explain at a business story, like you said, right? And we estimate it just to make sure, like it's like WBS. We discussed WBS at length, ma'am. Yeah, and we had a overall workshop for WBS also. So as far as estimation, I think WBS is the most nearest to story point. And yes, we have to basically see, whenever an analyst hand it over things to development team, right? We have to explain certain things. So on a broad level, estimation isn't necessary as a part and parcel. Even as a scrum master, as ma'am clearly say early morning, like we need to understand the schedule and the scope, and somebody shouldn't fool us as a scrum master or as an BA for that matters. So we need to understand the overall cost involved here. Not in a correct sense, means I don't have to go to a minutes by minute level, but overall just try to understand how many days or how many weeks at least I'm nearby. And yeah, these estimation do vary up to 20% or so. But yes, we need to understand that estimation, even as an what you can say, analyst or a scrum master or a tester as well. This is to make sure whatever we are doing with our full strengths and skill sets. That's how I would like to put it. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So it's like we take daily updates about where the project is going to land, how it is going to execute, and we make the notes and we send it every day. Those notes about the status reports.
I did not get you.
I mean, Scrum meeting, like you are saying, like you took example of weaving, netting, and all.
Mm-hmm.
So in Scrum meeting, you take the
Mm-hmm.
updates about how long will it take and by when it will be done, that particular task.
Mm-hmm.
And Scrum meeting, as far as I know, it is done daily, right? Daily
No.
Scrum.
See. There are different meetings available. So
Uh-huh.
at the start of the sprint, we used to have the sprint planning.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And one more ceremony is there, which I have already explained you, like the product backlog grooming, a refinement session or grooming sessions.
Hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in the grooming session or product backlog refinement session, what we do, the product owner gives us the walkthrough of the requirement, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He makes sure that he has passed the idea to the entire development team, that what
Okay.
is required to get developed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that time, once it is once the walkthrough has been done,
Mm.
then the person from the development team will say, like, what could be the estimation for that. It may happen during the refinement meeting, like we do the rough estimations of that user story during the refinement meeting, and we say, okay, this user story will take around 5 story points.
Mm-hmm.
As per our example, it would be like 20 hours of work,
Yeah.
25 hours of work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Okay.
just a rough estimation during the refinement meeting. And
Mm-hmm.
while we do this sprint planning meeting, during that sprint planning meeting, we decide which person is going to work on this user story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay,
And
okay.
then that person gives the actual estimation to that user story.
Mm-hmm.
That roughly we have estimated around 5 story points, but when we analyze it, it is going to take around these many hours.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so during a sprint planning meeting, we can change the story points also of that particular user story. If the person says, no, it was initially we thought of that this is very complex, and that's why we have given the story point as 5, but after doing the analysis on that, I came up like it will not take around 5 users story points. It will take around 3 story points to get completed. So these kind of things happen during the different ceremonies of it. And daily scrum or daily stand-up meeting is itself a very explanatory that it should conducted on daily basis.
Okay, this has nothing to do with that. This is the
Yes,
beginning of that.
yes.
Okay,
At the
okay,
beginning only we decide the estimations and everything.
okay,
Once we started our sprint, we don't do estimations or like that.
okay. You take the daily updates then on.
Yes, yes.
Got it.
During the daily scrum, we take it's very these ceremonies of the scrum are very much clear about like in terms of their agenda, in terms of their time span also, and
Mhm.
their frequency, like when these ceremonies should get conducted. They are very strict on that part. Okay, I'll explain you those things,
Okay,
that
okay,
which ceremony should get conducted on which time.
okay, okay. The
Okay,
story part
and
is little bit like still thinking and just
it's
visualize, trying to
complex.
visualize how it will be, but I'm
It's
unable to get.
complex.
Yeah. Mm.
It's complex. You will understand it once you are working into a live project, or we
Exactly.
can do once we have the like workshop. During
Mm.
that workshop, you can understand it more.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the responsibility of development team to maintain the sprint backlog, to conduct the daily scrum or daily stand-up meeting. They are focused on a steady delivery of high quality features. Sorry. Their focus is only on the software delivery with the high quality. Okay. And with the constant pace of delivery. Managers own work within a sprint. They know, like in our activity of a step counting, while Rudra was walking on his own, so he knows where to go and how much to go, right? So that way he was managing himself. He was not waiting for the manager or someone else to uh, get directed, right? So that's how we do work within the Scrum. Like nobody monitors us, but each and everybody works for his or her own work. Generates option for the product owner. Like how we generate options for product owner. I'm sorry. So while working on some story, we thought of some enhancement on that user story. Like if we provide this additional thing, or if we can change the color of this screen, it will look much better. So we can give the idea to the product owner, like by doing these little bit changes, your product will look more attractive, or more comfortable to the end user. So these kind of options also can be provided by the development team to the product owner. Okay. Okay. So I'm moving for. Can I move forward?
Okay. What was the WIP again? Sorry.
Work
Minimize.
in progress. Work in progress.
Minimize. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So next is, what is product vision? Product vision creates, articulates, and campaigns the product vision, which is motivates the team and is broad and engaging. what is product vision? It is like it is to motivate the team, and it is self-explanatory about the product. Okay, I'll give you the example, then you can understand product vision more in a better way. Okay, like Google's vision is to provide access to the world's information in one click. This is the vision of the Google. It is self-explanatory, to provide access to the world's information in one click. When Google has started building the Google search, at that time the product owner, uh, whoever been there, he has decided like a vision for that, for for his product. Like his product is what? Google search. Google search is a big product, right? Just a minute, I'm getting a call. Sorry, these people are very strict about the in getting gathering the information about the COVID patient. So they used to call on the same time on daily basis.
Oh,
So sorry. It's the second call which I got since morning. So they are like crazy. Okay. So now, to provide the access to the world's information in one click. This is the vision of Google. Okay. So now you can understand that by this they means the entire development team, or I would say the Scrum team, are on the same page. Like they need to build a software, a product which can which can provide the information on only one click, right? So this is how you motivate or you educate your team member about the product. Like this is what I want to build. Okay, and this is also self-explanatory, right?
Yep.
Nokia's vision is to transform a big planet to a small village. This is their vision. That's how they have introduced the cellular phones, right?
right.
And you tell me whose vision it could be. Business is good for development, and development is good for business. Whose vision it could be?
Guru schools.
Sorry.
Guru schools.
No, no, it is of Reliance.
Oh,
Reliance.
Reliance. Okay, Reliance India.
Reliance.
Yeah. Okay. So now you understand what is product vision.
Yes, very clear now. Yeah.
Very clearly.
Yeah.
So it is the responsibility of product owner to create the product vision. Whenever we start with the product creation or the software development, that time it's the responsibility of product owner to have the product vision. It is not the compulsion, but it's good to have the product vision. Okay, it's up to the product owner whether he wants to create it or not. Okay, now next is product owner owns the product backlog. If you have any kind of doubt now, then you ask me, otherwise I'm going to just read it out because I have already explained it explained it to you. If you still have any kind of doubt, then please do let me know. Okay, he owns the product backlog. He drives the development efforts towards the business need. He is only responsible for defining the features of the product. He is only responsible for deciding on release date and content. He is only responsible for prioritizing the work of the development team, and he he needs to be available and answer to the queries being raised by the development team. He need to make time. He needs to product decisions. He only makes the uh, timely product decisions, like which all things needs to get modified if required by the business. That is only his responsibility. Okay, he only accepts or rejects the sprint result. Any doubt on this?
No.
Okay, so I'm moving forward. He only makes the decision about the features and time and cost, right? I think you must be gone through of ROI, return of investment. You know that return
Yeah.
on investment.
Yeah.
So he only manages it. He is responsible to look after all these things. Okay. He authorized and empowered by organization, like he does all these kind of management stuff on the return on investment. Who needs to do what, how we are going to do, which feature need to be built first, or like what could be the sequence of the requirements in which if we can build the software, then we get the more business out of it, right?
Yes.
So these all things being decided by product owner. Okay. Product owner creates and maintains the product backlog. He creates the initial product backlog, then he prioritizes it, and he updates the backlog as new information is uncovered. Like, what is software? It's just an idea which came into someone's mind, right? So initially, what all things has been like identified by the product owner. He used to put it into the product backlog. Once he has put it like 30 requirements in the product backlog, then he prioritizes it, like, and then when he uh, gets some new idea about the requirements, like he wants some more features into that product, then what will he do? He'll again put it in the product backlog. Initially, he has entered around 30 requirements. Now he has put 10 more requirements into the product backlog. Then what will he do? He has already prioritized those 30 requirements, but now 10 more requirements are there. Then what he needs to do? He needs to reprioritize the entire backlog, entire product backlog. Like, it may happen that whatever 10 product 10 requirements he has introduced, some of uh, those requirements are more priority based, like they have more priority, right? So he need to revisit to the entire requirement and he need to reprioritize the product backlog. Okay, he only can change the feature and priority of every sprint. He only decides, like initially he has decided that these features should be picked up in the next sprint, right? But after a few days he says, no, I have revisited the business like market thing, and I've came up like these things are least important in terms of business, so we are going to change our sprint backlog for the next sprint, not for the current sprint, for the next sprint. Okay, it is very rare to have like these scenarios wherein product owner comes in between the sprint and says that whatever user stories we have picked up for the current sprint are no more required as per the business. It is very rare. Okay, it's like 0.001% chances are there that the product owner will come to you and will ask you like these features are no more required, or we need to drop all these features and have to switch to the another feature. It is very rare. This situations can be like we can face these situation for the next sprints, not for the current sprints. Okay.
I have a question. So, will the product owner give the product backlog in a way that the developers can keep building on it, or?
Yes, it's like he only decides it, but during the sprint planning, like when we are picking it up for the current sprint, so that time we as in development team may say suggest the product owner that, see, the product owner may be from the business side only. He does not understand the technical challenges of the product, like which all requirements are interconnected or interdependent, right? So that's why there is his prioritization may go wrong. So during the planning meeting, we can suggest him or we can tell him like, see, these two user stories, like this user story 1 and user story 5 are interdependent. Okay. So can we take these two, like you need to reprioritize it, and can we take these two for the current sprint? Because to develop user story 1, we need user story 5 also to get developed, right?
Can you give an example?
Can I give an example? Okay.
So we talk to them and then we get back to the product owner if the development team isn't happy with it, or they can't do it in that order.
Yes. During that sprint planning meeting, we can directly say this to the product owner and we discuss on this. Like on what basis you are saying that these two user stories are interrelated.
Okay.
and how they are interrelated. Okay, because it will what will happen to reprioritize the product backlog. Like if we are able to only pick 4 users choice for the current sprint, and we are asking product owner to have the 5th one instead of 4th one, or any of those user story, right? So his business may get affected. So that's why he is like, we need to discuss why we are saying that these two user stories are interlinked, or we need to pick them first. We said that product prioritization is product owner's responsibility because he knows the business well. But on which terms we are saying that no, boss, you need to change your prioritization of your backlog, right? Are you getting it? Yes. Uh, Pavni ji, you had some question, right? Like I should give the real-time example.
No, it's me, Sheetal. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No problem.
Sorry. So Sheetal, how can I give you an example? Like, okay, I'll give you a very small example which I just got after seeing my kids back. So if your kid is has just started making the like sentences, and not like that. Just give me a minute. I need to recollect it properly. Okay. So it's like your kid has started writing by her own or by his own, and you asked him to write the spelling of 1 to 10 spelling, huh? Okay,
Hmm.
not the numbers.
Hmm.
So what is the prerequisite for this? Your kid should understand the uh, uh, phonics of each and every alphabet,
Mm-hmm.
and then only he or she is able to write it down,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So that is a prerequisite. If you ask directly to your kid that write down the spellings of 1 or 2, but that but your kid is not able to understand what is the phonic sound of each alphabet,
Hmm.
then how kid will be able to write down the spelling,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
these two things are interrelated.
Okay.
But will you be this is only when you understand your kid better, then only you can say. If
Hmm.
someone comes to visit your place and directly asks your kid to write down this, so he does not know that your kid does not understand the phonics of each alphabet. It's
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
who understand your kid, and you only know that your kid doesn't understand the phonic of each alphabet, right?
Hmm. Correct. Hmm.
So the same way, the product owner is the person who visited your house, the similar
Mm-hmm.
way, and you, as a mother of the kid, you know your kid better. So similar way, the development team understand the technology better than the product owner.
Hmm. 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 Okay.
Is it clear to
Yeah.
everyone?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I explain like the way I thought of it, just in case?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I was thinking of it like a very simple example, like an app, I guess, right? So the development team will know the logistics of it, like it has to have this first and this first, and the product owner is just like, okay, I need this, this, and this, but he doesn't really
Hmm.
know what goes where, right? So That's why the development team is more technical, so they would know exactly what goes in order versus
Yes.
product.
They know what goes in which sequence as per the technology. And product owner knows the sequence as per the business. Right? So that's where we need more interactions. That's why we opted agile. Right? Okay. So product owner collaborates with the stakeholders. It may be business stakeholders, it may be business analysts, the developers of the team, like software, and the user experience experts, right? He collaborates with all the stakeholders and decides whatever he needs to decide. But the final call would only of the product owner. We may suggest him n number of things. It's his wish to accept it. Whatever things he wants to accept, he'll accept. And his decision would be the last decision. Okay. It's like third empire. We may suggest him like the final call is of third empire. Whatever empire says, it doesn't mean to the third empire, right? The final call is of third empire. The similar way, whatever we want to suggest him, we can suggest the product owner, but it's up to him whether he wants to take it or not. Okay.
I don't really know what third empire is, but I think I understand.
Okay, we can suggest him like a number of things related to the software, related to the product. Like by doing this, your product will look good, or we can add this thing, or we really don't want this feature in our product. So we can suggest all these things to our product owner, but it's his wish to accept it or not. Like we can suggest him कि ये presentation का ये color अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, we can change it, right?
But she or he has the final say.
Yes, it's my presentation. I only build it. So it's my wish whether I want to change the colors of the presentation or not. You may suggest me like, Richa, if you can use the other color into this presentation, then this presentation would look much better. I would say, yes, you are correct, but I like it in this way only. It's my wish to accept it or not, right?
Just business. Yeah.
Right? You're getting it?
Yep.
So he collaborates with each and every stakeholder. He understands each one, each point, and then he decides what things needs to be done or not. Okay.
Yep. So the collaborating with stakeholders, and we're the business analysts, right? So we'd be doing we'd collaborate with all those four.
Yes. If you are acting as a product owner for your team, then you need to collaborate with the stakeholders and need to uh, decide, right? It's up to the responsibility which has been provided to you. Okay. It's like the product owner may give the entire responsibilities to you, that you can decide on this basis, or it's like they ask you to get the confirmation from him for each changes. It's up to your like uh, your mutual consent, your mutual understanding, or like mutual contract. What should I say? Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So now I'll show you one video which explain you about the product owner in better way. Is it audible?
Yes, it
I
is
can hear.
audible.
Okay.
The product owner is responsible for maximizing the value of the product and the work of the development team. How this is done may vary widely across organizations, Scrum teams, and individuals. The product owner is the sole person responsible for managing the product backlog. Product backlog management includes clearly expressing product backlog items, ordering the items in the product backlog to best achieve goals and missions, ensuring the value of the work the development team performs, ensuring that the product backlog is visible, transparent, and clear to all and shows what the Scrum team will work on next, and ensuring the development team understands items in the product backlog to the level needed. The product owner may do the above work or have the development team do it. However, the product owner remains accountable. The product owner is one person, not a committee. The product owner may represent the desires of a committee in the product backlog, but those wanting to change a backlog item's priority must convince the product owner. For the product owner to succeed, the entire organization must respect his or her decisions. The product owner's decisions are visible in the content and ordering of the product backlog. No one is allowed to tell the development team to work from a different set of requirements, and the development team isn't allowed to act on what anyone else says. So, there you have it. Let's quickly review. Your tasks as a product owner are to clearly express product backlog items, prioritize and order PBIs, ensure the value of the work delivered, ensure that the product backlog is visible and clear to all, and ensure that the team fully understands the product backlog. So that's the role of the product owner, straight from the Scrum Guide. A bad product owner will send your team off on the wrong direction, but if you follow these rules, you'll maximize the value you get from your team every sprint. To find out more about Scrum, check out SSW TV, or
So how was it?
Clear.
Clear?
Yeah, a lot of understanding.
Hmm?
Yes, it was good.
Okay.
Reinforced what you said.
Yeah. So now comes to now we move to the Scrum Master's role. Okay. He is acting as a change agent, like focus on delivering business value, eliminates waste, and work organization impediments, help create a learning organization. Like the Scrum Master is responsible to keep the team's focus on the delivery. He doesn't allow his team member to focus here and there. He or she is responsible to make sure that every team member is focused towards the product delivery, quality product to be delivered, right? He is he is responsible to make sure that they are not wasting much, right? In terms of time, in terms of technical things, like they are not wasting much space by using unnecessarily things, like they are not storing much things which are not relevant to the product, and they are not like the what to say, they are timely. He wants to make sure that the technical reviews are being done, like whatever code is being coded by the developers, that is optimized, and that is not like repetitive codes are there. These kind of things he only need to monitor. Okay. He is responsible to clear out the impediments which all comes into the way of the development team. Like it may be of infrastructure related, it may be of like some subject matter expertise is needed for your team to educate the technology more efficiently, right? So it's his responsibility to make sure that these all things are being cleared out. Help create a learning organization. He only tries to educate the entire team, or instead of the team, he's also been engaged into the entire organization's learning towards the Scrum or with the other management things. Okay, he's expert into Office Scrum, like whole team to Scrum framework. He only makes sure that the entire team is working within the Scrum framework. He coaches when required, like when he feels like the team is not much mature in terms of a Scrum. So he or she only coaches the team about the Scrum. Okay. He teaches the Scrum values. He mentors the entire Scrum team. He supports the Scrum team in terms of any kind of like any kind of support they need. Like if something goes wrong, and it was really not the mistake of your team, but somehow it went wrong. So then also the team is looking towards the Scrum Master to support them. Like it's not like the product owner started shouting on the development team and development team is listening to it. It's the Scrum Master's responsibility to take the things in a better way. Like he only make sure that the exact scenario has been passed on to the product owner, like the boss. Yes, we do understand that this has went wrong, but it was really not the mistake of the development team. It was due to this thing or whatever it is. He only has to take care of all these things. Okay. Scrum Master only help people to improve their technical stuff, their personal stuff, like their interpersonal stuff. So these kind of stuff is being helped by the Scrum Master. He enable of self-organization. He is only responsible to make the team self-organized team. Okay. Barrier breaker, clear impediments. He only clear all the impediments and ensure the progress is radiating. Like he ensures that the development is in the correct uh, correct path, and we are able to deliver the software at the end of this sprint. Like whatever we have committed, we are going to deliver all those things at the end of this sprint. So he only makes sure that he ensures that the team is functional. Nobody of the team is wasting their time. They are sitting idle. So he only makes sure that. Okay. Follow-ups on the improvements, like the Scrum Master's responsibility is to conduct, is to facilitate all the ceremonies of the Scrum and to take the follow-ups on each and everything of the Scrum team. Okay.
Okay.
Scrum Master serves the product owner and development team. He acts as a change agent. He coach and guide the dev team and the product owner also if it's required. If the product owner is also not very sure about the Scrum framework, so it's the Scrum Master's responsibility to coach him as well. Okay. He empowered team to self-organize and self-manage team. He facilitate Scrum events or Scrum ceremonies. He looked for ways to improve productivity and collaboration within the Scrum team. He removes the impediments and protect the team from outside, like outside forces. He is only person who is going to allow whether his resources uh, can be shared with the other teams or not. Sometimes what happen, if you are into a team and some senior person come to you and ask you, no, this project is very critical, my project is very critical, and I want these two developers of your team to work for my project until that project gets over. I don't know how you are going to manage it, but you need to see, I want these two guys to work for my project only. It may happen, and really it has happened with like almost with every team. So what is the Scrum Master's responsibility? He checks whether it is possible to share his resources with the other team or not, or that he knows that he is not he'll not be able to share his resources with any team. So he may directly can say like, no, this is not feasible for me because I also have the delivery in pipeline. Okay, so I cannot share my resources with you. We'll try to figure out which all resources can be provided from the other area from the organization, but I'll not be able to share my resources with you, right? So it's the Scrum Master's responsibility to say yes or no to the other things, like whether he is able to share his resources, or like um, someone is bribing your resources to work for their product, for their project. So it's the Scrum Master's responsibility to take care of all these things. Okay. Scrum Master is neither project manager nor the manager of team. Okay, that's what I said, that the Scrum Masters are not the managers. As per the Agile or Scrum, they are the leaders of the Scrum team. Scrum Masters are the Scrum experts. They have the deep knowledge of Scrum principles and practices. They are well grounded in why we do what we do. Okay. Apply apply appropriate techniques as situation dictates, and provide impactful feedback. Be quick but don't hurry. Check in, don't check up. Anything you want me to clear over here?
I got it.
Okay. Helps the product group learn and apply Scrum to achieve business values. And does whatever is in their power to help the Scrum team to be successful. Right? Okay. So now here also I have a very funny video I'll show you. That is really very funny, and that clears out all the roles and responsibility of a Scrum Master.
Yep. Yeah, yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, buddy.
You know
you have to be on time for the daily stand-up. It is the same time, same location every day. Loser!
We evolve.
The daily stand-up is crucial. You can't be late for the daily stand-up. You don't let your teammates wait.
You know, the first time I heard about this Scrum thing, I didn't think it would fit our organization. However, after we sent Ian to Scrum Master training, things rapidly changed around here.
I am the process enforcer! Oh!
Thanks, Wendy. Hi, Mike. I can make this incredible deal. Lots of bonus. I just need a minor change. It's just a few hours of work. Come on, can you do it for me? I'll give you this donut if you do it.
You fool! Never interrupt the team! They're in a sprint, they have focus, so no changes! If you want extras, go to the product owner! I am the process enabler. Scrum works great, but let the team do the work. That's what they're good at. They deserve being left alone. I take care of that. And do I enjoy doing that? Hell yeah!
After we introduced Scrum, the productivity of our teams went through the roof. They focused on maximizing value by delivering a new version of our product every 2 weeks. Rapid value creation is key.
Hey, I finished this feature yesterday.
The code is done, but we still need to run it through a regression test. Quality is key.
I'm sure it works. I'll put it to done.
It's not tested.
Done means done! If it's not done, it is not done! Hey Lisa, you know that! Don't mess up the Scrum board!
Ian is not only here to enable the process and protect the team, he's also here to facilitate the team and to coach them. He helps them to create the best day possible, every day.
Anyone like some coffee?
Yeah.
Come on, sit up straight. You don't want your back to get hurt. Wait, let me help you with that.
Nice.
There, you must feel much better now. Enjoy your coffee.
Thanks, Ian.
A Scrum Master needs to do what needs to be done. I am a facilitator. It's not about me. It's about the team. Anything that needs to be done, I take care of that.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, hold on.
Hey, Ian, speed up. We're losing power.
Working on it.
No, I'm back. Yeah.
Ian is our Scrum Master. He protects the team, he coaches the team, and he ensures that impediments are busted. And do I mind the way he does that? Of course not. It's the end result that counts. It's Scrum that makes it work. It's the team that does the work. But still, you do need your Scrum Master.
We evolve.
Buy the book, The Power of Scrum, at Amazon.com now, or else I will be there to pay you a visit.
So how's it?
That was pretty good. That was funny.
It was funny.
But it's the actual work of the Scrum Master. Like you need not to do like you need not to serve the coffee and all, and don't try that, the massage thing in your office. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. So don't try that. But yes, this is how the Scrum Master work. Okay, so clear.
Yes.
And this video, I like this video very much. Freshen up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what is development team? The development team is like their characteristics of development team are like the size of the development team would be minimum of 3 and maximum to 9. They are co-located. Like we prefer to have the entire team on the same place because we prefer to have the face-to-face conversation instead of written conversation or telephonic conversation. We don't prefer all these means of communication, right? We prefer to have the face-to-face conversation. That's why we prefer to have entire team on the same place. The entire team should be cross-functional. Like cross-functional, like it's not like that the person is limited to the one technology. It's like if required, the developers can also do the testing for the team. Like we have very limited people in our team, and if someone goes on to the leave, then what will happen? Do we have time to wait for that person to join back? No, we don't have that much time to wait for that person to come back, right? What happens if some emergency came up into someone's house and he is off for like for 15-20 days? Then what will you do? You cannot wait for 15-20 days for that person to rejoin. You may find out the other person to replace that person, but till the time you are not getting the replacement, what will you do? Your team member has to be available and they has to willingly say that will will share the load and will do that, will work on this thing, like will share his load to the entire team or to the limited people and will work on these things, like, right? So that's why we need the cross-functional team. Okay, self-organizing team, they know what needs to be done next and how needs to how. Okay, so your team needs to be that much self-organized that nobody is monitoring them, nobody is like instructing them that please work on this thing, then once you are done with this thing, then move on to the next, right? So nobody is going to instruct you. You only know that what needs to be done next. So this is how you need to make sure that your team is self-organized and self-managing. Any doubt, Leena ji?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. High degree of autonomy and whole team is accountability. These are the characteristics should be there in your development team. Okay. Each and everyone is accountable in terms of the end result, whether the software, whether the requirements got built up or not. So it's the accountability for entire team. It's not like that the single person have not worked on it, that's why we have failed to achieve our goal. It's not like that. The entire team is accountable for that. It is for the entire team, not for the single person. Okay.
Yes.
The development team builds the product that the customer is going to use. Okay. Then your development team should have the analysts, your team programmers, the interface designers and testers, everyone. Okay. Team includes all the expertise necessary to build the deliver potentially shippable product each sprint. New word introduced. Potentially shippable product. Right? Potentially shippable product is like the software which is going to deliver after this sprint, or like any sprint. That product is should be in a position where the end user can use that product. That is potentially shippable product. Like you are building, you have worked for like 3 to 4 sprints and you have completed around 40 requirements in last 4 sprints. So now when you have integrated all these 40 requirements and came up with the software which is itself is it is I'm not getting the right word. It is sufficient to get used by the end user, right? Like it's a basic structure of the software which can be used by the end user. So that is the potentially shippable product.
Is it kind of like prototype? Is that what you're trying to say?
What?
Like prototype?
Prototype? No, prototype would not be the right word for this. It's like whenever you are working, I told you that requirements should be like the we try to keep that as small as possible, and that requirement is the self. It has the function of
Is it just like the chunks that we've discussed in the beginning? The
yeah,
small
like
chunks.
chunks which can be used by the end users. End
Yeah.
users, like if we are talking about the e-commerce site, so at the end of every sprint we are adding something to that site. We are building some features of that e-commerce site,
Yeah.
right? Like we
First
are
you
building search.
make the login and you make it workable,
Yes,
and then that is the shippable product.
yes, that
You
is
make
the
them,
potentially.
you make that available to the end users, and then you work on the next level, and then once that
You
is
can
shippable.
work on.
Yeah. Okay, like that.
You
Step by
can
step.
work on that. Yes.
Got it.
Okay. There's one more term we use in Agile, like minimum viable product. Minimum viable product. It is also the same. Minimum viable product means the basic structure of the product, or with the minimum requirements set, we can deliver it to the customer and the customer can use it. That is the minimum viable product. Okay. Minimum set of requirements are there in that chunk, and that chunk can be used by the end user or by your customer. Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Developer team's responsibilities are like give input to the product owner. They collaborate on how to achieve the sprint goal. They construct the product increment. They work cross-functionally. share roles when needed to get the work done. They are self-monitored. They self-monitors the sprint progress, right? They raises issues to Scrum Master, whatever it is, and they recommend improvements and assess own performance. Like we don't monitor, we don't have the micromanagement in our Scrum team. We make the environment like where they only uh, analyze their own work, how they are working, and how it could be in a better way, right? Okay. So development team delivers product increment. When we can say the requirement is completed, I told you definition of done and definition of readiness, right? So definition of readiness is meant for the like we after achieving that we can start working on that requirement. And definition of done is the set of things where we can say that this requirement is completed. No more work is required on this requirement. Okay. So they are like self-sufficient to build the product increment. Product increment is like we are working in that way that each after end of each sprint, we can say the product or the software is getting incremented in terms of features, in terms of sequential features, right? It's not like that we deliver the search first and then we are adding categories to it, right? We have to first introduce the categories in our e-commerce site, then only we can implement search on it on our site, right? We cannot change the sequence of these two. We cannot provide the search first, then only then we introduce the categories to our site, right? Because if we don't provide the categories first, then how will you provide how will you enter the product? It will be a chaos. You don't have any categories of the product. Everything is just lying on your site, right?
Customer dissatisfied.
So first you need to provide the category so that your products are categorized and they are in a well segregated sections, and then only you can provide the search, right? And then the development team confirms to definition of done. They only confirm that the requirement is done from our side, but it is done when the customer or the product owner says yes, it is done, now we can move, we can park it aside, right? If the product owner has any kind of improvement onto that requirement, that he can suggest you. Otherwise he can simply say yes, this is done, you may change the status of this requirement to done. Okay. Delivers a working product that is really done when they are integrated, when they are fully tested, when they are potentially shippable. Then only we can say that these requirements are done. Okay. See, when you have the hands-on on these things, then you'll understand it more clearly because none of you have the IT background. So it will be very difficult for you also to understand all these things, right?
I have a little bit. I kind of,
Yeah.
so not completely in depth.
So we are planning to have the workshop for these things. So once we are having those workshops, during that you'll get some gist of these things. Okay. Okay. So now development team. See this.
The development team consists of professionals who do the work of delivering a potentially releasable increment of done product at the end of each sprint. Only members of the development team create the increment. Development teams are structured and empowered by the organization to organize and manage their own work. The resulting synergy optimizes the development team's overall efficiency and effectiveness. Development teams have the following characteristics. They are self-organizing. No one, not even the Scrum Master, tells the development team how to turn product backlog into increments of potentially releasable functionality. Development teams are cross-functional, with all of the skills as a team necessary to create a product increment. Scrum recognizes no titles for development team members other than developer, regardless of the work being performed by the person. There are no exceptions to this rule. Scrum recognizes no sub-teams in the development team, regardless of particular domains that need to be addressed, like testing or business analysis. There are no exceptions to this rule. And individual development team members may have specialized skills in areas of focus, but accountability belongs to the development team as a whole. Development team size.
Sorry.
Optimal development team size is...
Sorry?
Could you go back like maybe 20 seconds?
Okay. Here?
Yeah, perfect, please. Thank you.
The development team, regardless of particular domains that need to be addressed, like testing or business analysis. There are no exceptions to this rule. And individual development team members may have specialized skills in areas of focus, but accountability belongs to the development team as a whole. Development team size. Optimal development team size is small enough to remain nimble and large enough to complete significant work within a sprint. Fewer than 3 development team members decrease interaction and results in smaller productivity gains. Smaller development teams may encounter skill constraints during the sprint, causing the development team to be unable to deliver a potentially releasable increment. Having more than 9 members requires too much coordination. Large development teams generate too much complexity for an empirical process to manage. The product owner and Scrum Master roles are not included in this count unless they are also executing the work of the sprint backlog. So that was a look at the development teams as outlined in the Scrum Guide. The part about cross-functional teams can be confusing, but it doesn't mean you can't have UX or testing specialists in the team. It just means that the team needs to combine all of the skills necessary to create a working piece of software. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you like the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content.
Okay, is it clear now?
Yes.
A better way?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now the question arises like, what about the project manager? In industry, like I have already told you that there are very few organizations who afford to have the Scrum Master, a separate person as a Scrum Master. They used to have a person who is acting dual roles, right? Maybe the project manager is acting as a Scrum Master also, or the lead of any, like the senior person from the development team is acting as a Scrum Master and also acting as a developer or some way, right? So what about the project manager? Like the Agile says we don't require a project manager because we don't have any role of project manager. We only have the roles of product owner, Scrum Master, and the development team. So where is project manager? Why don't we, whether we don't require him or what? Right? So actually we don't require a project manager for a longer period. It's like we needed him only to create the business model, if at all it is required. Okay, we needed him to provide the resources for the team, like, and support team by respecting the rules and spirit of a Scrum. If your organization is like forcing you to have the project manager, that project manager should understand what is the Scrum values and principles, and he needs to work accordingly. Okay, he need to help help the team in removing the impediments. Okay, and make their experience and expertise available to the team. It's like by his experiences or his expertise, he should make sure the team is working in the correct way. Okay, challenge the team to move beyond the mediocrity. Any doubt on this?
Bit heavy words to understand.
Yeah, it's I know, I
Impediment.
know. Impediments is just like the hurdles
Okay.
you are facing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in Scrum, we used to call it as impediments. Impediments like impediments are the hurdles which comes in the way of like achieving the goal.
Okay.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It may be of infrastructure related, it may be of your interpersonal skills related, it could be anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Still, we need some time to understand all the
Yes,
work.
you need to revise it for many times.
Yeah. Yeah. Starting from the Scrum story,
Yes, user
writing
stories
point,
to this. Yes.
everything needs to be revised again and again.
Yes. Yes. So Devji has already shared the link with you all. Please visit the sessions for many times. Like you need to understand it because you don't have the background of it. So you need to like go through to it for many times.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
required, right? It's just like go back to your childhood while when you have started learning about the alphabets and the numbers or about the tables. How do you do that? By revising it. So you need to revise it for multiple times.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So you need to go back to your childhood. Nothing else. And with the adults, what is the major challenge is they have their own set of understanding. So now when we try to when they try to learn new things, then also it becomes very difficult to like adapt it, right? They know that they want to learn this, but then also it's quite difficult for them to learn and adapt things, right? Do you remember that video of backward bicycle
Yes.
wherein the person knows that if he turns the bicycle to right, it will go to the left. He knows it, but then also he was not able to ride that bicycle, right? Okay, so few questions for you, like uh, who has the authority to make the decisions in this entire Scrum team? Please answer.
Product owner.
Product owner.
Yes, product owner. Who commit to the dates of delivery or scope?
Scrum master.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think the development team.
Product owner, maybe.
Who's saying?
Product team. Oh, sorry, not the product. Development team. Yeah.
Yeah, developing team, because they have to give the dates, right?
Only they.
Commit to dates of delivery or scope is.
I think product owner.
Oh, that is Scrum Master. He has to
No,
facilitate.
Scrum. Yeah, Scrum only. Yeah, correct.
He has to make everyone commit to that.
It's not the Scrum Master.
Okay.
It's not the Scrum
Scrum
Master.
team.
Scrum team. Yes, you can say that. Scrum team. All the three, like basically, it's the ownership of the product owner. Like he only decided it to under like what all the release plan for the product. Okay, so release plan has the dates of delivery and what all things or what all requirements should get delivered with the product. So that is decided by the product owner, but sometimes it may happen that the Scrum team decides together due to some technical challenges or something like that. Then the entire Scrum team decides it. But basically, it is the authority of the product owner. Okay. Who tells team members like what they need to do?
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master. Yep. Oh,
No.
Product owner.
No. Nobody tells the team member what to do.
They're like self.
They are self-organized.
Okay.
They only need to decide what all things they want to work on.
They're self-organized and self-managed. Yeah.
Yes. So nobody tells that. Who assigns team members task or role?
Again, they're like, again, I would say it's self-organized and self-managing.
Yes.
So they know which role they have to play.
Yes. Nobody assigns them any tasks, right? It's as per the Scrum. But when you start working into the actual teams, what happens? You have the freshers also in your team, or you have few people who are like not very much committed towards the work. So then your the senior person from your development team, or the Scrum Master has to take care of all these things. Right?
Right.
That's why Ravindra ji has told you, Leena ji, that first you need to take the like experience of IT industry, then only you can think of going to Scrum.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't know. The people are very smart in today's world. They think that they can make fool to anybody.
Right.
Right? So we give the privilege to each and every person, but they can misuse it also. Then someone has to monitor it.
Right.
Right? Okay. So then it comes the thing of Scrum timelines, which I am not going to take today because it's already been very heavy dose for you all. I know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you can do is you can try to search for the more videos related to product owner or to the Scrum Master or for the development team on YouTube. You may find n numbers of videos on the YouTube related to all these things. Okay, so you can understand it more clearly. which videos I have shown to you are very small. Actually, I have kept it like that only because I don't want to like have the more time into these videos and onto this, because you can anyways watch the videos on your own, but I wanted to tell you what exactly it is, not through the videos, by describing it in more detail, right? So you can check for more videos on YouTube, and if you have any kind of issues or problem, we can discuss it in the next session. Now, do we have Ravindraji on the call? Ravindraji?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. So now, what to say and how to say?
I'll take it
Now,
over. Okay.
yes, please.
As Richa ma'am was explaining, ideal theoretical scrum masters, normally project managers play these role, means they put on this hat as a scrum master in real life. Even Richa ji can basically talk about that. And as a project manager, he builds that task and schedule, right, whatever the team must adhere to, because otherwise it's like sheep's herd. Yeah, going behind them and they're not working, because there are quite a few leakages if you don't assign task and duty, right? So we have a project manager who is normally responsible for taking or leading the team. Scrum master is a kind of supporting role to implement disciplines. Yes, that's right. And they have certain really crucial task on their shoulder as a scrum master. As a project manager, if the top management means, this is what kind of evolution of history comes whenever you normally try to unite the theory with practical. So now project manager is responsible for the complete project, product or services. So he is also do normally role of scrum master as an additional hat what he put on, and those scenario. So even if theory says you don't normally assign the task and schedules to team, but in practical you have to, because otherwise everybody will be hero, and like all Hindi films, we'll have a flop film or flop product in our hand. So that, due to practical all purposes, we normally have a kind of scrapping vote as a project manager. Don't take my word for it, take it lightly, because that's how the practicality meets with theory. Ruchaji, do you want to comment on this?
No, no, that's perfectly fine.
Because Ruchaji,
You need to wear the head of like
many roles.
technical and the management stuff.
Right.
Then only you can work on it.
Yeah,
I
normally if
told
you
you, I've seen
right.
a lot many people, they are just the freshers.
Hmm.
And when we try to ask them that this is your user story and you estimate for yourself, we know that this user story will get completed within 3 to 4 hours.
Right.
And what we get the answer from the fresher or some people like, uh, it's a full day's task.
Mhm. It happens.
They want to like have the free time also.
Mhm. Tea
We
time, medicine
already
time. Yes.
Yes, we know that it will get completed within 3 to 4 hours with the breaks and everything. Like you need break, you need the natural calls break, and you need the break for chit chatting with someone, and tea breaks and everything like that. You may have the call in between. Everything is there. So we keep the buffer time as the half an hour, 45 minutes in terms of like if we are considering 4 hours task, and then also we are keeping half an hour 45 minutes as a buffer, then also they want the entire day to complete that task. So they think that nobody is going to understand this, and we can easily make fool of these people. So for these kind of situation, you need to be very much like you need to get into the technical thing, then only you can make sure that nobody is making fool on you, right? Maybe I'm maybe very straightforward because I'm like that person because who believes in this straightforwardness. I don't want to go round and round like that. So that's why.
Okay.
So anybody have any confusion?
No.
No.
Okay. Now, going forward, a bit of change in terms of schedules, because there were lots of new joinees to our team as well. Means, of course, we have I think Swati and Leena ji also joining us for the new, and you all are most welcome from tomorrow onwards. We're starting a new batch on BAQS Scrum, so we'll repeat the whole stuff, and yeah, there will be some more addition because of the others questions and so on and so forth. As we have a senior person like Leena ji, Madhuri ji. So we'll basically learn from them also. So I would really request you to join tomorrow as well. Of course, we'll make the recording available. If you can't, please don't worry. But I would really request you to join from tomorrow as well. The things which are most important to you is like all the older batch, means this batch class has been moved to Saturday, Sunday only. So we will not have our regular class on Saturday, Sunday, but Richa ji will be guiding us on Saturdays and Sundays, and she'll have around 3 to 4 more classes or sessions. That's how it's been, kind of change schedule overall. So
I would require only 3 more sessions.
3 more. Okay, great.
Yes, only 3 more sessions I would require. So, like, we'll do it on the weekends only because we need to accommodate the new batch. And I guess, from these people also, some of you are going to join by tomorrow, our
Yes,
new
Leena
batch.
ji.
Raviji, we are starting the new batch tomorrow or on Tuesday?
No, tomorrow. It's a
Tomorrow
change.
Monday, right? Yeah, Monday. Sorry. I might have mistaken that thing. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
So the
It would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday for you for the new batch, and Saturday, Sunday would be for me, like for Scrum thing.
And you can attend both. Please don't worry on that part.
So tomorrow, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, same time, 9 p.m. That's BAQ and SCRUM, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
The schedule would be same.
Okay.
The only thing is, I'll take the class only on the Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Weekdays would be of Ravindraji.
And ma'am, you can also join, please. No problem. If you have
Yeah,
time
I'll
and
try to learn.
please.
I'll try to learn
No,
BAQ.
even I think, quite a few, like Usha ji and all. Usha is not here, I believe. She can also,
Yeah.
she's ample experience in recruitment all. So even we learn from Leena ji, and, even I learned a lot, and, I'll also keep learning. So it's not like one-way process. We discuss a lot. Even we should fight. We haven't seen any fight right now. You're right, I'm wrong kind of scenario, but we should. And in coming days, yes, I'm going to share all the books. I have around 6 to 7 books on BAQS Scrum. Now, means all the overall, gamut of those things. So we need to get prepared for the interviews as well. So, for that, I'm going to share the books with you. I have got a couple of questionnaires, which I'm going to share with you. So just start going through that. And, in between, whenever we got time, we'll have another what I can say, a quick question and answer session after, because when Richa ma'am said Saturday, Sunday, right? So Saturday and next Sunday we'll have a workshop discussions. So there'll be a workshop handed over to you, which you need to come back to us within 3 or 4 days, and we'll have a session planned for that, half an hour session kind of scenario. So you can, the workshop is planned like, I'll share some documents with you. You'll think over it. You'll inform me on WhatsApp or something like that, the subject you've chosen. Then we'll have a requirement gathering kind of session, right? And then you'll work on use case diagram. You'll work on HLD. You will work on SRS. And we'll include all these things, whatever we learned, to explain the SRS best possible way. And we'll like to, have a review session one by one whenever you are through with that, and we'll plan it accordingly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Anybody have any suggestions?
So are we going to be required to read like from this chapter to this chapter, or we just read on our own?
There's no chapter wise. There are, now we are normal tracking with heavy books and more of practicals. So I think we're done with practicals. We're done with overall, how and what kind of things are. Now we need to revisit those things in a theoretical sense, or in a, what those technical guys say in their word. So these books are predominantly taking, or walking the extra mile towards the technical terminology. Like, Richemam was explaining on something like build, right? Build, or what I can say, release.
Potential shippable.
Release is basically whatever you hand it over to customer, or whatever you hand it over from one team to another. So it's like, if it's a product, or if you're, let's say, developing a pen, right? So a finished cap with all, that pen, the coloring, the finishing, you hand it over to the, assembly team, right? So that assembly team delivery taken by that cap delivery team is also a delivery, is also a build, it's also a unit delivery, right? So these kind of scenario, these are a bit technicality. And I would really love if you keep asking me question through WhatsApp. If I couldn't answer you within minutes, because I'm sleeping, or whatever, on call or something, so I will try to answer you as early as I can. And please keep it coming, and start reading. Now we need to get ready for the interviews. That's what, we are there to help you in interviews also. We are there to help you on job also. So please don't worry on that part of life. Just try to get prepared, just try to understand what the BA is, what the QA does, what the Scrum does, what the Scrum Master, or overall whatever role you're going to play. And most probably nowadays, PM leads multiple teams. We have sprint teams, like, as ma'am correctly said, maximum 4 to 6% per team. So we have at least 3 to 4 team per project or per product. So these teams are led by individual Scrum Master, and then the project manager is kind of super Scrum Master. That's how it works out. And they have the coordination in between, right? Product owner is our client who basically created vision for us, from which we have collected the requirement, right? Or a leader in whoever given us the requirement, right? So he's the owner, we collect the requirement from him as an VA. We also be a part of Scrum team to prioritize the backlogs, prioritize the other thing, which, I think Artifact ma'am will explain in your next training class. So we're going to understand and build our daily prioritization updates with the Scrum Master. And that's how, as an BA, I'm in an advisory capacity. As a Scrum Master, if you're a Scrum Master, then you are overall in control of the overall execution day by day, and you normally closely work with PM. So if there are any contradiction with priorities and scenario, you have an upper hand as far as even PM goes most of the time, because you are close with product owner, because you were talking to him for collecting requirements from many other things, right? Could you understand, could you relate to the actual scenario with me? Any contradiction here?
No, makes sense.
It makes sense, right? Great. So that's how we're going to learn. And now we're going to apply this practicability. We are going to apply this practically in our workshop, right? So yeah. So overall, this team will meet on Saturday, Sunday. And of course, the new teams, new classes start from tomorrow. So I would really request you to join that as well, so we can revisit the actual basic, business analyst as a role, the responsibility, the whatever documentation we produce, create, and those scenarios. Okay.
Okay. So
And I would
Any question?
request you all that please go through the sessions which have been completed till date. Start brushing up the BAQA and Scrum once again, so that it will help you to
Yeah, to
understand
clear
it more.
interview, to actually go on, like
Yes,
go on job. That's right.
because see, it's the all things which we have uh, communicated to you till now are mostly of the experience based thing, right? Which you don't have. So what you need to do is you need to learn it again by watching it again and again and again, right? You need to explore it more by your own ways. You can apply these practices on your daily day-to-day activities, whether it's related to BA, whether it's related to Scrum. You can apply these things on your day-to-day life. For each thing, you can uh, think on that way, that if I am a BA, how can I do my task as a BA does? Like if you are planning for your day out, then how will you do that if you are a BA? So planning a day out is also a project for you. Now you can think of a way like how BA would work in this condition. So BA will gather the requirement from the who has told you to go for the outing. Or if it's you only, then you need to start thinking on that way, that what could be the requirements for this trip, how you are going to make this like more comfortable for your friends or family. All these things you need to think in that way only, then only you will get the experience, the real time experience, and you can apply it, and I can say you can crack the interviews, right? So please visit again and again all the sessions which has been completed till now, and try to implement those things into your day-to-day life. Try doing this. It's a fun. Actually, it's a fun.
Okay.
Would you like any assignment or anything?
Any? Go ahead, please.
No assignments. No assignments for now. You just try out your like you try to explain experience it by your own life. Okay, no assignments for now.
I'm sharing.
We'll give you the assignments.
I'm sharing the questionnaire as well for the certification, so you can go through them, so you can understand what type of questions normally come in certification. They are pretty confusing, and you might take back and try to reread quite a few things. Believe me. So that can be your homework. Start reading, start learning in fast pace now. You need to spend at least 1.5 hour a daily basis to understand and be that what you can say be it a Scrum Master, be it a BA, be it a QA role. You need to understand those roles thoroughly so that we are ready for our year-end interviewing sessions and those things as well.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions as of now?
We are good. We can
Great,
find
great.
the sessions on YouTube or on GURUSCHOOLS.
No, we shared on the group, ma'am. Means if you
previous
search
sessions. I'm
these.
talking about previous sessions.
Okay, I'll send an Excel sheet basically with those links.
Okay.
These are private sessions. Now we are not sharing everything for public.
Sure. Okay.
So I'll share that links with you through Excel.
Okay. No problem.
Sure. Any other questions, ma'am? You are joining from new as well. So, but yeah, you can of course revisit. No problem.
Okay.
I can understand that.
Okay.
Sure. Any other questions right now?
No, we are good. I'm
Okay.
good.
So yeah, thanks a lot to you. Let's meet tomorrow, and I would really request you to be there. Let's start learning from scratch, and let's start understanding it better day by day.
Sure.
I'm going to share the books with you, and that can be your homework.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Richaji. Thank
Good night.
you, Rendraji.
Wait. Before you go.
Go ahead, please.
Yes. So starting tomorrow and Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, we'll have class with Ravinderji, and then with that and Sunday with Richaji.
Yes. Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be Ravindraji's turn, and Saturday, Sunday would be mine. Okay.
Do you want to request Richaji to teach you BA? She knows, no problem. Would you prefer it that way?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, Ravindraji.
No, see, there are certain, I know, means as in trainer, I might be a bit pushy or, kind of aggressive. And please correct me if I'm going too fast, that's a kind of, I don't know, it might be a passion triggering my talking, or might be too much knowledge, or, too much, I'm a talkative person. So that's the way I am, frankly speaking. So please stop
Ravindraji,
me.
you are always be with lots of words. I am always be lack with words.
Oh
It
yeah,
happens with me.
that's because those 16 countries speak in between. So see, there are different cultures, right? You use different word, and so these words basically, at least that's a kind of habit of mine now. You normally try to explain it once or twice, or put it in some different word, because in different cultures some words are really harsh, some words are really mild, and those scenario. So pardon me for that. That's why I think I took a bit of a longer time. That's okay. Okay, so thanks a lot. You have a good night. Bye. Take care.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Good morning.